Hi everyone, about a minute on Venezuela. Is it uninvestable? This is a really important question, and it's one that was raised last week by none other than the CEO of ExxonMobil, Darren Woods. Before I go further, if you don't know me, my name is Robert Bryce. I'm a journalist, I'm a reporter. I give you the numbers and the facts, not the spin about energy and power. So be sure and hit that like and follow button. Okay, so back to Venezuela. Of course, on January 3rd, the U.S. military swept into Caracas, snatched Nicolás Maduro, the president of Venezuela. He's now in New York, waiting trial on charges. Of course, everybody knows that by now. But what happens in Venezuela next? The only way the country will recover is if the country and its oil industry can be resuscitated. The country has been dependent on oil revenues for decades, but the oil industry in Venezuela is in tatters. So this is going to require American companies to go into Venezuela and rebuild the entire industry. And there are various estimates, but all of the estimates are in the tens of billions of dollars. They will also have to rebuild the country's electric grid. But last Friday, during a meeting at the White House, the CEO of ExxonMobil, Darren Woods, said this: "We have a very long history." I'm reading from his statement, which, by the way, it's on Exxon's website. You can find it there. "We have a very long history in Venezuela. In fact, we first got into Venezuela back in the 1940s. We've had our assets seized there twice. And so you can imagine to re-enter a third time would require some pretty significant changes from what we've historically seen here and what is currently the state. If we look at the legal and commercial constructs, frameworks in place today in Venezuela, today it's uninvestable. Uninvestable." He went on to say there have to be changes at the commercial frameworks, the legal system, investment protections, and changes to the hydrocarbon laws. This is the CEO of ExxonMobil, one of the world's biggest oil companies, saying we're not going to go back to Venezuela. It's uninvestable. Now, as you imagine or probably heard, President Trump was not amused. He said, well, maybe we'll prevent Exxon from going back in there. He called it they're being too cute. But this is not a good indicator if the U.S. is really serious about rebuilding Venezuela, bring it into the U.S. sphere of influence. It's going to require massive amounts of capital. And here you have a head of one of the world's biggest and most sophisticated energy companies saying, we're not going back without enormous changes. The bottom line, rebuilding Venezuela's oil industry, getting Venezuela back on its feet, won't be cheap, won't be quick, won't be easy. I'm on Substack. You know where to find me, robertbryce.substack.com. Thanks a lot. See ya.